or something, let me know.
Okay. Well,
Like,
if it's nice and steady, that's usually not too bad to edit out.
okay.
Programs are pretty good at getting rid of noises if they're that steady.
Okay.
All right, the broadcast has started. Now I'm starting the stream. And hello, everyone. All right, let me make sure that this is actually going the way I think it is. Should be. Hey, okay. There we are. Hey, everyone. All right. Let me put that on pause. Cool. We're good to go. Oh, I'm hearing someone's bleeding back. Test, test. Oh, okay. It's quiet. If anyone has the Twitch chat rolling or whatever, or
Test, test.
yeah, go ahead and make sure that turns off. Or Deck, if yeah, I'm getting some feedback from yours as well.
Yep, I think I got it.
Okay, cool. All right, hi everyone. This is episode 341, OotiniCast, 2018, August 30th, and we'll be getting going officially here in a few minutes. This will be the raw show with all the flubs and mistakes intact, and then we will edit out everything and set it out as a podcast tomorrow. We do have a brand new guest on this week, and that'll be Thief, who I know Deck and Fear been asking for, is very excited to have on, so that's excellent. And we'll get the official podcast rolling here in just a couple. Okay, so guys, it sounds like I know Dr. SWTOR, your Audacity's rolling, Deck, yours is rolling.
Yep.
And Thief, yours, it's your audio track recorder is working. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, I gotta remember to key my mic because it only records if I key my mic. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, cool. All right. And what we'll do is there's a little bit at the beginning. I'll do a little intro. I'll throw it to you, Thief. We'll just see, what you've been doing in. I'll ask you a few, basic questions about you and about your stream and so on, what you've been doing in the game, and then more recently what you've been doing. And then we'll go on from there. And is there anything like specific you want to talk about later about your show or plans you have upcoming or anything like that?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm good, man. I'm down to do whatever.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I just got the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel going right now, so
Awesome.
Don't really have a show.
Okay, cool. All right, then. I'll get this rolling. And going in 5. Oh, hey, 1 second. Before I do need to tweet this out really quick. Let me do that really fast. And then I will get it going. All right. Okay. TV/OotiniCast. There we go. Let's see. Why is that? Hang on a second. Shoot, it's not. I don't think that took correctly. Let me try that again. Yeah, I think I I need a space in there. There we go. Now it's a proper link. And we're good. Excellent. Okay. Now we'll go in 5. Right, I know, Marcus. This time though, it didn't look like it was actually working as a link last time, so I added it again so that the link would work properly. Okay, going in 5. Hey, Evelyn. Yeah, it's been a while. All right, again, going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast, the podcast that forces runaways into a life of crime in exchange for shelter and protection. This is episode 341, being recorded on Thursday, August 30th, 2018. I'm your host, Jill, and with me is my co-host, Dr. SWTOR. Hey, Dr. SWTOR.
Hey, Chill. Hey, everyone.
Hey, and we've got a couple of guests today, including a new one. First, though, we've got Deck and Fee. They're kind of out and about. Is it just you, Deck, or is Fee with you today?
Fee's around here. She'll probably come over here in a second.
Okay. We'll talk to you in a minute. And before that, we've got TCThief, or Thief. How you doing, Thief?
How's it going?
And you are doing some streaming, and you've got a YouTube channel as well.
Yes. So
And
I've got the stream that I've always had, and then recently started uploading stuff to YouTube for Fortnite.
Excellent.
Awesome.
And what do you like to do in SWTOR? What sort of streams do you usually do?
So when I stream SWTOR, it's all nightmare raiding stuff.
Nice.
Don't really get into the story. It's just nightmare raiding or whatever they call it these days, like veteran,
Right.
master mode. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it keeps changing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And which one are you working on?
We're done with everything, so we've killed everything in the game, and
Nice.
so most of the guys that I raid with are kind of like on a hiatus right now until something else comes out that's better. So until they come out with nightmare operations or master mode operations for like Gods of the Machine, everybody's on hiatus right now.
That's excellent. And have you been keeping up with the game then yourself, or have you backed off as well?
I've kind of backed off. My sub lapsed I think about a month ago, but I resubbed and met up with a bunch of guys from like It's Lit and Failure, and we did hard mode Revan. But we're not raiding on any consistent basis until there's, I guess, confirmation that they are going to release Nightmare. So it's kind of like why we're at a point where
Right.
why raiding, so we can kill. Like I've killed Revan, and the guys that I've raided with have killed hard mode Revan, and this is no lie, like over 1,000 times, man. So it's like we're kind of at a point like, why are we gonna do this same content? It's just to the point where it's boring. So we just raid with each other because we like each other, every now and then. So
Nice. What is your class and role?
I play whatever does the most damage. So I play tank. I play all three, but I'm main a DPS, and typically I bring what the raid needs. I'm like what they call a utility player. I tanked with a few groups for a long time, and then I healed with a group, but I main a DPS, and I prefer DPS. I'm at my strengths when I'm doing damage, and that pretty much goes in whatever game I play. Like I try to be a damage dealer, but oftentimes I get moved around to where the raid needs me. I'll say I'm good enough to be on a nightmare team, but I'm not one of the top players on a nightmare team, so I get shuffled around a lot. I'm like a utility player, so.
Okay, cool. And is that how you play other games as well?
It's hard to find another game besides WoW that doubles how SWTOR is. So SWTOR is a game that I really, really love, and it kind of breaks my heart that I'm not playing it right now. Me and my brother, TC Meet, like we played the game for like almost 6 years. We played on a competitive rating level, and it's really hard to go out there. Apart from WoW, it's really difficult to find another game that the mechanics are just like SWTOR. The whole rotational system is just like Star Wars. They have Final Fantasy, but I don't know. We're just kind of waiting to find a game. So we're playing Destiny right now, and we're getting to the point where we're pulling a raid group to get together for Destiny, and we're gonna play some raids on Destiny to see if that fills the gaps why we're on SWTOR hiatus.
Oh, cool. So basically, like high-end, team-oriented PvE. That's your niche. That's what you love to do.
Yeah, I like I wouldn't say competitive because the stuff in Star Wars was not really competitive. Like you have like 5 or 6 guilds competing for like a world first, but like challenging content that you can. I mean, the only way to put it is competitive, but that's using that term really lightly because
Right.
the groups that were competitive on Hard Mode Revan were like D&T, Zors Hates You, the European guys, Disciples of Babylon, NGE, and it's, I don't know, it's hard to say it's a competitive environment when there's only 10 guilds that are competing. Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
You know, that actually probably leads to the content slowing down too.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, those 10, like, okay, I raided in Disciples of Babylon because I was in Germany, and then I raided in Hates You, and then I also raided in NGE for a long time. So, I raided in, right there, 3 out of the 10 guilds that are competitive in this and stuff. And I know there's some German and French guilds, but I don't know them off the top of my head. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I wish there was more guilds, and I wish the content cycle was more to draw in more competitive players. And I wish I love the game so much that I wish the population. I wish it was the same as the Fortnite population. I wish we had 10 million players playing Star Wars, because with what they could do with the resources that they got from that, like, I think it could be a really awesome game. I find myself playing other games and I'm like, man, I wish this worked like Star Wars. Like Star Wars, as much shit as I talked about, like the Star Wars devs and like, just the game. Like I think I used to say, like, this is bad idea, it's dumb that they're doing this. But now I look back and I'm like, the devs are really ahead of their time, because I wish a lot of these games that I'm playing right now operated like Star Wars. Like it just made sense, a lot of the stuff they did. It's really hard to explain, man. You'd have to play other games that are similar to Star Wars and be like, I really like the way this works in Star Wars. I don't know why this doesn't work like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I concur with that. Actually, Thief, I want to add a couple of things just to see what you think about it. I did my dissertation on this game
Nice.
when I was trying to earn my PhD 2 years ago. And that was before we had Knights of the Fallen Empire. And so that was before we learned that expansions could be just story only, and then an op can take a year to develop. So the most recent content then was Shadow of Revan, which had 2 ops, had some flashpoints, had story. And I was shocked that there are not more people in the community that enjoy the types of things you're talking about. That the SWTOR devs really have a tough task of, there are like 80 people like you, it seems, and then the other thousands of people that play seem to really enjoy the story, the character creation, the casual elements. So what do you think, you would hope that they're able to do within the next 6 months or so that would be really appealing to you and players that you tend to run operations with?
See, it's hard because a lot of the people that left, there's like no way they're coming back. They're already engulfed in other games and stuff. Yeah. Me and Mark, I'm going to keep saying Mark. Mark is my little brother. He's the guy that brought me into Star Wars. He was the guild master of Hates You for after the last guild master left and whatever. He ran the group. So Mark brought me into SWTOR. Me and Mark are always in agreement to go back if there's stuff to do, because we really like the game. We really like its mechanics. We really like how the game works, and I mean, it's a Star Wars, you know what I mean? It's like raiding with lightsabers. Yeah. That's what I tell people when they're like, what's SWTOR? I'm like, it's like WoW, but it's with lightsabers. It's all. It just basically take WoW and take all of the fantasy stuff away and throw lightsabers in their hand. It's got rotational, DPS rotations, and there's tanking, healing, and that's what the game is. So me and Mark will always come back if there's operations. If there's stuff to do, because like I am not a story guy. I could tell you right now, I have 70-something characters. I have at least 2 of each class on both Republic and Imperial side. I have not watched a story once. I spacebar through the entire stuff. I don't like any of that mess. I like killing stuff. I like killing bosses. I like, doing PvP. I just like killing stuff. So I don't know. It's hard, man. Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Which is so that's what makes Star Wars so beautiful, is that there's something for everybody. And if you check back, I mean, I sound like a parrot. I've said this in some of my old Star Wars podcasts. There's something for everything in Star Wars. Something for everybody. If you like story and you don't like operations, it's got four stories on each side, Imperial and Republic, and it's got repeatable. It's got the extended content stories with all the expansions. If you don't like story and you just like PvP, it's got decent PvP. I used to say the PvP in Star Wars was bad and unbalanced. Mate, you do not know bad PvP until you have played Destiny 2. The PvP in that game is so ridiculously unbalanced that there's gear stuff connected to PvP achievements that you have to get for PvE gear. And we're playing this, and we're having to get this achievements through the PvP, and the PvP is so bad, man. You can go look back at some of my streams in the past few weeks, literally raging, man. It's just really bad. But yeah, there's something for everything in Star Wars, and that's what makes it a good game. And like I said, I wish it was bigger.
Right. Is there anything sort of non, health bar related that you do like? Do you own strongholds? Do you like to do the outfits? Anything like that?
I messed around with the strongholds for a while, but I moved servers so many times. So before you were able to transfer tunes from NA to EU, I was in North America, right? I say this all the time. I'm one of the only ones in the world that's Legacy 100. Because I've leveled a tune on both NA and EU. So when I went to Germany 4 years ago, I left all my tunes on North America, and then I started my legacy over so I could raid with Not Good Enough. And yeah, it was just brutal.
Wow.
But I mean, I can level good. But other than that, it's so the strongholds, that's, the strongholds was fun for a little while, but there's only so much you can decorate a place till you get bored. I'm ADD, man, so you gotta keep me occupied. If I get bored, I'll be I can't do this no more. That's why I like raiding so much, because it's short little 10-minute bursts of concentration, and then you do that for 4 hours a night, and you get really good at it. And I just really enjoyed that a lot, man.
Right. Do you do PvP much?
I do PvP, but I didn't get super sweaty with it. There's people out there that are just super sweaty, and they go off on people in regs, for not guarding nodes and stuff. If you look back at some of my prior videos, people are freaking flaming me for not guarding a node and this and that. And I'm just whatever, dude, you're ridiculous. But we did ranked a few seasons, and ranked is fun. But so with ranked PvP, you run into the same problem as you do now. It's not there's teams out there, but there's not a lot of teams to choose from. And with what they have got going on now, they connected materials to PvP that you need for PvE. So all these augments, it takes special materials that you can only get from ranked games. This is a bad idea, because Like, it's a good idea in the sense that you get people to play, which I think they should only connect to solo ranked, because solo ranked you can kind of get random players in there, and they need to work on their, matchmaking a little bit better so it doesn't match you against with somebody with a 2300 freaking I forgot what's it called, ranked score, 2300 ranked score, and you've got an 1100 ranked score, and you just go in there and get smashed. But they connected it to like all this stuff, and it's just like you get randoms in there that just want to get the gear. Yep. So yeah, the PvP is the same way. The game needs to be bigger, man. I wish I had a magic wand that would give the player base like 5 million players, because I would do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and have you seen the Rishi stronghold with the PvP areas special added to it?
I haven't. So I just reinstalled Star Wars the other day because I migrated my hard drive over to a M2 drive, and I hadn't had it reinstalled. Something happened to where I had to remove it. So I haven't installed the PTS back on my hard drive. So
yeah, although Rishi is now available live too. So.
It is live. Yeah,
it is.
So, but I'm subbed, so I should probably log in and go check that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dekion is one of your fans. I know he urged me to invite you to on the show, and it's great having you. And Dek, did you have any questions for Thief first of all?
I didn't. I'm really happy to have him on OotiniCast. I think it's really cool that he's I guess guesting on the show. I know that in the past we've really loved to watch your veteran mode and nightmare mode raids. Sort of inspiring to watch you guys run through it. The ease that your team runs veteran TOS is amazing. You guys just walk through it like most people will walk through the story mode version.
And I imagine that Thief's a bit of an inspiration for you, Dek, since you're kind of working on new operation groups yourself and so on.
And we are. Dr. SWTOR and I finally were able to secure our 8th player for our raid group. So now maybe sometime in September we will begin raiding as a team, as a progression group.
Nice.
We are looking forward to that.
Yep, and we can share with everyone what boss has ruined our life every other week on OotiniCast Live.
And what else have you been doing, Dek? And Fee, if she's there.
Unfortunately, I am suffering from the curse of the Utini Guildmaster, and I haven't played since the last podcast.
Oh.
But in this case, you have an actual, extenuating circumstance, not an ongoing, chronic thing.
Right. No, I had a work conference in Las Vegas, and as many of you know, we live in the Chicago area. And I decided, hey, instead of flying on the company dime, let's just drive. So we decided to load the car, and we drove cross country, turned it into a vacation, stopped at Mount Rushmore, spent a week in the Grand Tetons, and then spent since Sunday in Vegas, and now we're on our way back.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
So it's a 4,000-mile round trip.
And of course, being in Chicago will make it super convenient for you come the next Star Wars celebration.
Yes, definitely. We are looking forward to that, and we are looking forward to some things that SWTORista is putting together. And we're really excited about Celebration coming to Chicago, and being able to show people around and maybe even host a new Teeny Cantina.
Sweet. That'd be excellent. Okay, and Dr. SWTOR, what have you been up to since the last show?
I have been up to so much, Chill, that I'm looking at my list and I'm not going to be able to touch on everything. So everyone in the chat and who's listening, Chill and I got to guest star on Working Class Nerds last week. So this is actually our 3rd week in a row being live somewhere talking about Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I thought that was a really fun episode for me because it was about sort of the process of how I ended up being on the show, and also the process of Chill and Tio maintaining OotiniCast throughout the whole life of the game up to this point. And I just felt like it was a really good contextual piece for what we're trying to do with all of you every other week with our show. So if you have some time, please go learn a little bit more about us over in Working Class Nerds, and also continue listening to us here. And then personally for me, my family and I moved, so I'm in a different office and have the computers all set up ready to play SWTOR. I haven't gotten to do any operations in game, but because of what Conquest set us up with last week, I actually ended up completing the weekly for PvP, which I don't even remember, Chill, the last time that I did that, but it was fun. There is a shocking amount of players in the game that do not understand how to play Hutball. And that made me look like a superstar. So many matches. I play a sorcerer, so you can teleport and you can extricate.
Right. Pull your buddies, yeah.
Yeah, and just the value that I found I have to a team of like dragging people down to the bottom so they're not on the platforms anymore, and teleporting and dragging the person with the ball over the fire at the very end of the platform and straight into the end zone. You know, it's just fun. It's, you know, it's Star Wars sports, and I love sports. A lot of my analogies or metaphors that I'll use when I'm talking tend to be sports oriented. So that was fun. In the other Doctor that I play in life, Dr. Kaufman, I was able to have my first journal article published, so that's super exciting.
Yeah.
I have it right here. It's in print. So if you're watching live, that was waiting on my desk Monday morning, and just really nice way to start your work as a academic.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, getting your PhD and doing your dissertation, obviously a huge thing, but then you have the PhD, and then this is like your first step along that line of actually getting things published and sort of keeping that ball rolling academically. That's great.
Yep. So that's that's a really big deal, and it's sort of gaming oriented. It's taking the elements of what draws people into video games and using apps, either online apps or smartphone apps, to turn the tasks that you would run into in an online graduate program into that real life kind of game. So you now have a sprite, you now have gear, the things that you do in the class level you up, and it sounds silly, but it strings the tasks across your day so that you actually end up spending an extra 45 minutes here doing something because it's in your list, and the brain gets a great dopamine rush when you check something off of a list. And then pair that with a noise, and pair that with the visual of your little 8-bit Final Fantasy-esque character having a better weapon by the end of this week and getting a cooler robe by the end of next week. And suddenly, you know, you're passing your class, you're prepared for the papers you're writing and things. So not SWTOR, but kind of gaming, and it's something that is like at the core of who I am and what I've been dealing with this week. StarWars.com had some personality tests for what Jedi are you and what Sith are you. And of course I had to fill that out. So once again, we reaffirmed that I am Emperor Palpatine, which, if you remember, Chill, that's what started this whole thing, is my connection with my personality type and that one grid that showed that personality is Emperor Palpatine. And my main is a Sith sorcerer. And I was like, that can't be a coincidence. And as a Jedi, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
So, you know, that's a lot of what I've been doing. I got my Merc to level 70 so that I can get conquest points, because I did the weekly for CZ198 before the conquest week started, but after the week started. So on my main. So I was like, man, I need to get those conquest points. So I finished leveling up my mercenary so that I could earn those conquest points for the guild.
Nice.
And so that kind of brings us up to where we are today. I think that's a good summary of my week.
All right, cool. Now, let's see. Let me give a shout out to the chat room. Agent Iron Spider's here. Ducky's here as Anu. Apricot Ripe Fruit is here. Blue Fight Milk, Commander Root, Decaf Smurf, Decyon, and Dr. SWTOR are both here. Electrical Longboard, Evan04111, Fig Live, Fee's here as Fiona, HMS Erasmo, Insane Bert, Ivlon, hey Ivlon, is here. JK Naps, Siskika, Slow Cool, Smarty, The Haywire, Snicker, Starry Saber, Sin Wolf, and TCThief is here. VNK, Virgo Praz, and Marcus is here as Working Class Nerd 17. Hey everyone, thanks for coming. Let's see, I have had some internet issues over the last couple of weeks, and I think it's on my provider's end because it didn't seem to be related specifically to SWTOR, and generally I was online, but it made it difficult to stream because the upload speed was being inconsistent, and it was causing issues. So it was a little hard to get in the streams that I was wanting to. But I did finish Kotet on my Smuggler Chill Strike, and he's like I had already gotten him up to 70, so he's already on like tier 3. And I just did that today, and I also got the romance companion Akavi Spar back, which is really cool. There's a nice little conversation there. Akavi and Mako are in the conversation, and they've met up since the events that put you in Carbonite, and then you can either get Akavi back or perhaps not, and I won't spoil it too much, but it was a nice little conversation, and it's nice to have her back because I had already ground her up to like level 32 in gifts, so it was nice to have someone with that high of a level back. So if I do some open world stuff now, I'll have a nice strong companion. So not as much gaming as I'd like to get in, but did get that done, and that felt really good. I'll do the Traders Trilogy here probably in the next week or so, and then he'll be sort of ready to sort of back up if Jar Jar Joyride needs like an 8th or something, and they need some DPS along. He'll be ready to take care of it. And
they've been filling up though.
They have been, which is nice. So so I'm always glad to see that. So that's excellent.
Yeah, keep them coming. We can start doing 16 runs on Fridays.
That would be fun. Yeah. All right. That'll bring us to the tip of the week, and we do have one tip this week from Agent Iron Spider, who is in the chat, and he wrote in, with all the companions available post-Kotfi, you're bound not to like all of them, Star Fortress companions, for example. Despite that fact, if you're anything like me, you must complete as many achievements as possible, and this means getting at least 1,000 kills with most companions. Here's a tip to make this a little more bearable. Rampage! This is a great opportunity to knock out 150 or more kills with companions that you don't like running with. Not to mention that it'll give you some good conquest points, so have fun. Thanks, Agent Iron Spider, and since you're the only tip this week, you are automatically the winner of a Tonfon or M8 3R Droid pet code courtesy of BioWare and a new OotiniCast provided Cartel Market Pack from the latest shipment. If you'd like a chance to win the same, please send your tips to OotiniCast@gmail.com before the next show. And that'll bring us to the Holo feed. And there is not really a lot of news out there. I was I was really scraping. There's not much in from the devs, and not too much general Star Wars news either. But we did have a little bit here. So a couple of things from the devs. There was that sort of Cantina Crawl achievement that sort of accidentally got semi-released, and then they pulled it back with the Paxton Rawl companion. And they're curious whether it's been reintroduced in air, because apparently this Cantina Crawl thing did come back in the game, or whether it's working as intended. And Eric wrote back, "Curse that wily pirate, we'll bring him to justice yet. Paxton is still intended to go live as part of a future promotion, and you'll see an official announcement when that happens. Until then, trust nothing he says." So Yeah, we already know from this is once he's a companion, then you're supposed to go to certain cantinas across the galaxy, and it's some sort of achievement is sort of tied to this. So if you're an achievement hunter, that will eventually be available, but they will give it an official announcement when he is going to be released as an actual companion, and therefore this will also become open. There's another one here from the devs. What's the status on the top 96 rewards from Season 9, which is the PvP season that just finished? And Eric wrote, we're in the finalizing process on them now. We completely understand the frustration and the delay, but we want to ensure that we're giving them to the right people. We have one last set of players we're investigating, and then the rewards will be issued. I'm still hopeful for this week, but it may be the next. And this was a few days ago, so it should be out pretty soon. In the future, we will likely bring back preseason between seasons so that we have time for this review. Thanks, Eric. So that was pretty much it. There's really not a lot out there. I did find one video. There's a YouTube video out there. It's not necessarily Star Wars related. It's more about acting. And this particular channel has a lot of interesting things to say about different movies. Some of them Star Wars, but most of them not. And there's one in particular called Acting, Giving a Great Performance. And it's a pretty short video, but has a lot of nice things to say about acting, and I thought it was very interesting. And in the middle, he has a long bit starting around the 2-minute mark that talks about the infamous sand sequence in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where Anakin is talking about sand and how it gets everywhere and it's coarse and it's blah blah blah, and how no one seems to think this is good acting, and this narrator agrees. But then he gives a really interesting idea of how the same scene with the same words, but if you change like the subtext, would have been a lot more interesting, and it would have made the acting a lot more interesting. Basically, he said, what if he had played it not just sort of flat like he did, like he was just depressed, about and kind of talking flat the way he was, but what if he sort of had like internalized this as like the sand was essentially like all the problems from his childhood, like all the bad things that happened to him when he was young, and the sand was essentially that. And so even when he is on Naboo, which is this beautiful lush world, when he says the sand gets everywhere, what if he meant also that the problems, those problems are still with him even here on Naboo, where everything seems to be so lush and wonderful. And anyway, if you watch that video, I think they did a good job of sort of indicating how like little things like that can really change the performance in a movie or in a scene. And subtext can be a very interesting an important aspect of acting. So I thought that was a really interesting video, and I would recommend people go check it out. There'll be a link in the show notes.
Can I add a few things to the segment, Chill?
Absolutely.
Just from Star Wars. I'm super excited. I just want to make sure it's part of the episode that several days ago I got an alert that Dominic Moynihan, who is from Lord of the Rings and Lost, is going to be in episode 9. So that's definitely Star Wars news. But 2 nights ago, my brain exploded. So Matt Smith is cast in episode 9, and he's the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who. And a huge reason that I decided I would go through all of the work so that I could call myself a doctor. It sounds silly, but without Doctor Who... and this goes back to like 2010 before I started any of this. I don't know that I would have actually got off the couch, walked over to my computer, and started applying to these programs. Like, I don't think that, because I know there was a point in time in my life where I didn't see the value of investing any more time in my education beyond where I was. So, sounds silly, but now he's part of Star Wars, and I'm super excited for episode 9. I don't want to know anything about the plot. I don't want to know who these 2 actors who are being added are going to play necessarily, but I'm just everything about the movie. I'm just having a lot of fun getting ready for it in my mind, but without deciding what the plot's going to be and setting myself up for a massive failure, right? Just I'm looking forward to seeing these people in the movie.
That's cool. Yeah. That was interesting to see that he was going to be on. I'm talking about, when he was Merry in Lord of the Rings. So I thought that was really fun to see that he'd be in this movie too. I do like Tolkien. I've never really got into Doctor Who, but I'm glad you did, so that we have that base covered.
Yeah, you can count on me, Chill.
There we go. All right, and let's see. And Thief, if someone wants to watch your stream or catch you on YouTube, or maybe follow you on social media, where would they get a hold of you?
My Twitch is at TCThief, so twitch.tv/TCThief, and then the YouTube channel is Rage Brothers, and
Cool.
then Twitter is at TCThief. So
Nice. And when do you have a regular stream schedule, or when do you normally stream?
I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Nice. And and which game it'll be just depends on which one has the content and is grabbing you at the moment, correct?
Yeah, I've been streaming Fortnite lately, and sometimes I've been going to Destiny at the end of the night, but it just all depends.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for having me on.
All right.
It was awesome. I didn't get a chance to tell you. It was awesome being able to run into all you guys the other night, and we kind of knew each other from before, but I didn't really know who I was raiding with until after you guys all told me. I'm all, I know all those guys.
That's right.
We had a similar aha moment at the end of the raid too. When you told us that we could call you Thief, there was like this aha moment. Yes, that was just a really cool operation evening.
Yeah. I would have brought Power Tech, but my Power Tech is hostage on the East Coast server. I don't know what it's called, but it's over there, and I'm not paying 1,000 cartel coins to transfer it, so.
But wait,
Nice.
If all of us transfer one tune for 1,000 cartel coins, can we get an op, BioWare? Like, can you?
Yeah,
like,
right.
We'll set it up. We'll do International Character Transfer Day at full cost, and like we will purchase the content that gets the Nightmare players back.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about how much cartel coins I spent, man. I could probably buy a small vehicle. Just saying.
Well, what do you like to spend it on then?
I'm a gambler. I don't even like stuff. I don't even get into the decorating or none of that. I just like gambling, dude.
I see. So
Like
you open
in-
up the crates.
Yeah, in Fortnite right now, I don't need anything, but I still buy it because I just love gambling. I don't know what it is. Don't let me ever go to Vegas, dude, because we're out of control.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks, Thief. This has been great.
Yeah,
Okay. Then that's the show. If you'd like to play with us in the Utini Knights Guild on the Republic side of the Steel Shan server, or in our Guild on the Empire side, do a /C join Utini to join the Utini channel. Then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to utinicast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using @utinicast. You can find contact details for all of us on our website, utinicast.com, which includes how to subscribe to us using iTunes, Stitcher, and the rest. We record the show live bi-weekly on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Go to utinicast.com/live to find out how to join in. Our theme song is Doomsday by Jean-Paul Zogby. And thank you, chat room, and thank you, Thief.
Definitely.
All right, and we'll see you next time. All right, everyone keep recording. Well, Thief, I understand you're doing a different one, but everyone else keep your Audacity rolling. Thanks to everyone for coming. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. And have a good one. We're going to go ahead and sign this off now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Stopping the broadcast.